everyone, it's Tony Schiavone, and this is the AEW Control Center. So much to talk about coming out of Full Gear this past Saturday. 2 items right off the top. We have a new AEW World Champion. It's MJF, who defeated Jon Moxley with the help of, incredible as this may sound, William Regal. And Jamie Hayter is a new AEW Interim Women's World Champion, besting Toni Storm in a memorable match. Coming up on the Control Center, we'll have a special look at tonight's finals of the Eliminator Tournament between Ethan Page and Ricky Starks on Dynamite. Plus, our cameras caught up with Jungle Boy after his hellacious steel cage match with Luchasaurus. And we will hear from the new AEW Interim Women's Champion Jamie Hayter, as well as Chris Jericho, after he retained the ROH World Championship. We'll also check in to see how Swerve in Our Glory reacted after the loss in Full Gear to the Acclaim. But first, AEW Dynamite and the fallout from Full Gear is set for tonight live on TBS from Chicago in the Wintrust Arena. We will take the air tonight with our Thanksgiving Eve edition of Dynamite at 8/7 Central. Here's what's on tonight's card. After the shocking turn of events in Full Gear in the world title match, we will hear from William Regal as to why it all went down that way. Also tonight, live on TBS, we will have match 2 in the Best of 7 series between Death Triangle and the Elite, the AEW World Trios Championship. At Full Gear, Death Triangle retained the title in what can only be called underhanded means. And because of that, Tony Khan has called for a rematch in what will be our first ever Best of 7 series in AEW. Match 2 will be tonight at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Match 3 next week in Indianapolis. Match 4 in Garland, Texas at Winter is Coming on December 14th on TBS. If necessary, Match 5 will be at the Holiday Bash on December 21st in San Antonio. A possible Match 6 at New Year's Smash, December 28th in Denver. And if it goes 7 matches, the final match will be at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. Also tonight, live on TBS, live from Chicago, the finals of the Eliminator Tournament, as All Ego Ethan Page will meet Absolute Ricky Starks.
I'm here with Ricky Starks. Ricky, you will now advance to the finals of the Eliminator title tournament, but our biggest question is, will you be 100% for this matchup?
After all that offense and the injuries, to get Page up for that Rochambeau and nail it, what a battle by both men, and now Ethan Page looking on, looking at who his opponent is.
I'm okay to go against Ethan Page next Wednesday. I'm okay to be the man that's gonna run this place. I am okay to be AEW champion. But you know what's better than being okay? Being absolute. I don't know how many times I gotta prove it. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I don't know how many times I gotta come out here and pour my heart to you. Time after time I can say,
absolute Ricky Starks. More like absolutely in over his head. You know, tonight you were getting all emotional. Did you see him out there after the match? You saw it? I had to. I was forced to, literally. To see your ribs and shoulder taped up. I got to see the pain inflicted by Brian Cage, and I know exactly what body parts to pick apart this Wednesday. So, absolutely way too emotional, Ricky Starks. Every fan in AEW has already seen you cry in the middle of the ring.
it is my time. I am owed this. I can do that as long as I am breathing. Ultimately, I gotta show it. Ultimately, I gotta prove it to people.
On Wednesday, the waterworks are gonna be bigger and better than ever before.
This is it for me. All or nothing. I have never felt more prepared in my life, regardless of what my appearance looks like. Deep down in my heart of hearts, I am a champion.
And for what, the third time now in this company? Feels like Ricky Starks has the momentum behind him, and he's finally gonna grab the brass ring and break through the glass ceiling. Guess what? I'm the brass ring now. I'm the glass ceiling now, and you ain't breaking on Wednesday. Ricky, you're looking at the new #1 contender, and guess what? The next world champ.
And as I said it before, and I'll say it again, I don't talk in ifs, ands, or maybes. I only talk in absolute. And I'm absolutely going to Winter is Coming.
The winner of the match tonight wins the tournament, goes on to Winter is Coming for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and live on TBS Wednesday, December 14th for a world title match against MJF. This will be our third Eliminator tournament, with Kenny Omega winning in 2020, Hangman Adam Page winning last year. Also tonight, Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho will defend the title against a former champion, Tomohiro Ishii. Our cameras caught up with the Ocho after winning the four-way match Saturday at Full Gear.
Of course, the Jericho Appreciation Society is still intact. This is why Sammy Guevara has been by my side for over 3 years in the Inner Circle and in the JAS. Sammy is a future world champion, no doubt about it. And tonight, he went out on his own and showed me that he's not just gonna do whatever I say, nor should he. He is going to be a world champion, but not today, because I am still the Ocho, the greatest Ring of Honor champion in history. And you know that's the truth.
Chris Jericho. No one is more talented or more arrogant than the Ocho. And tonight, live on Dynamite, the AEW All-Atlantic title will be on the line as the champion Orange Cassidy will defend against Jake Hager of the Jericho Appreciation Society. We'll also show you the recent footage that occurred between TBS champion Jade Cargill and rapper Bow Wow. This and much more tonight live on TBS. It's AEW Dynamite live from the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. Airtime is 8/7 Central. For our fans coming to the event live tonight in Chicago, come early. Matches begin for you at 6 p.m. local Chicago time. Tickets available at AEWTIX.com. All right, fans, some other issues to address coming out of Full Gear Saturday night. The event opened with an incredible cage match between Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And after the match, our cameras caught up with a bloody but victorious Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
You know, it's interesting sitting here right now because this guy was my best friend in the entire world. And we have shared some of the best moments of my life that I've ever had. Some of the darkest times of my life, I came through it and got to share moments with that guy that made my dreams come true. And at the same time, he's hurt me worse than almost anybody I've ever met. But the physical pain is almost nothing compared to the emotional pain of having someone like that, after all of that, stab you in the back. But it felt very cathartic to be out there because all of that pain and resentment, it came out. And it came out in the blood, came out every time I punched him in the face, it came out when I dropped him on top of his head. I would go ahead and say that was probably the best match of my entire life. And it seems almost poetic in a way that a guy who's my best friend and the best partner I could ever ask for was almost the best adversary I could ever ask for at the same time. And as much as he has put me through and as much as I resented him and wanted to kill him, I felt in a way like it was just love there at the end. I came out on top, but we, again, just shared a moment that neither of us will ever forget, and I'm glad that I got to share that with him. And I'm glad I won. I kicked your ass. You know, it feels weird. I feel going into this, I was so angry, and I was hurt, and I was pissed off about everything that these guys have done to me, but I feel, in a way, I feel thankful for Christian now. I don't think a year ago, before I met him, I ever would have had this in me. And I don't think he intended to teach me a lesson, but he 100% did. And he brought this out of me. And it's kind of confidence inspiring to see that I'm able to do this now, because from here on out, it's only moving up. It's like I'm not really a boy anymore. So thank you for that, Christian.
What a memorable match. But something tells me the issue with Christian Cage is far from over. Also, the Acclaimed are still the AEW World Tag Team Champions coming out of Full Gear. But the main issue now is the escalated problems between Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. Again, our cameras were there after the match on Saturday.
What's next? Let me ask you a real simple question. Your so-called partner, your so-called brother, slaps you in the face. What's next for you? What's next? Next is either retribution, an apology, or maybe it's neither. Maybe I decide to just dismantle him instead. It's as simple as this. No longer will I sit through these shenanigans. No longer will I sit through this ridiculousness. No longer will I sit through this malarkey. Swerve, figure out the words that you're gonna say to me, because the next time we see each other, if you don't choose them carefully, I will annihilate you.
See you soon, Keith.
Plenty of problems, big time now, we're swerving our glory. Also, once again, congratulations to Jamie Hayter, the new AEW Interim Women's World Champion, with a sensational win on Saturday over Toni Storm. Here's what the new champ had to say after her win.
Britt Baker gets driven off the apron. Oh, the hate breaker! And now, Haterade! 1, 2, 3!
I don't feel like talking right now, because to talk, you have to use your mouth. And right now, Jamie Hayter is all heart, because I am the champion. Like I said, the Jamie Hayter agenda is in full swing.
For all you idiots out there that thought this wasn't gonna last, that something was gonna happen, look what you're looking at now. It's probably your behind because you were wrong. Jamie Hayter is my best friend, and she is also the new AEW Women's World Champion.
Guarantee you fans, Jamie Hayter is going to be a great champion in AEW. All right, in 1 week, next Wednesday, November 30th, AEW Dynamite and Rampage return to Indianapolis at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Tickets available at AEWTIX.com for next Wednesday. And in 2 weeks, on Wednesday, December 7th, we return to the HEB Center at Cedar Park, Texas, right there in the Austin area. Tickets available there at AEWTIX.com. And now, fans, some very important on-sale dates. Write these down because these are big ones. AEW Dynamite and Rampage come to Phoenix for the first time ever. We'll be at the Footprint Center on Wednesday, February 22nd. And AEW makes its debut in San Francisco at the historic Cow Palace with 2 big nights and 2 live events. We'll be at the Cow Palace on Wednesday, March 1st for AEW Dynamite live on TBS. And then 2 nights later, we'll be back at the Cow Palace Friday, March 3rd for AEW Rampage live on TNT. Tickets for both Phoenix and both days in San Francisco become first available this Friday, November 25th at AEWTIX.com. So, queue up on Black Friday to get your tickets for Phoenix and San Francisco, which make great holiday gifts. But tonight, we bring you the fallout from Full Gear and a whole lot more as AEW Dynamite and Rampage return to Chicago at the Wintrust Arena. We will take the air live tonight at 8/7 Central on TBS. For our fans coming to the event tonight live in Chicago, come early. Matches begin for you at 6 p.m. local time, and tickets is always available at AEWTIX.com. This is Tony Schiavone, once again from the AEW Control Center. I'll see you live tonight ringside in Chicago and on TBS. We are AEW.